Actually, fun fact, Super Robot Wars 30 is actually what got me into watching Gridman with, PK here. Oh, PK had already watched it, but, yeah, so I watched it after... Oh, yeah, it's entirely in the Toko Sentai style, yeah. But yeah, I started watching Gridman because of Super Robot Wars. It's why I started watching Nadesico. I actually, as I was building my, I finished painting the new Gundam, as in NU Gundam. As I was building it, I actually watched the first few episodes of Rayearth. So, I'm starting to dip into that. Rayearth is more magical girl than anime, than mecha. But you know what? It's been a fun thing. I like Team Clamp. The stuff I've seen from Team Clamp, I've liked consistently. Main one always being Code Geass. And now that we have access, though, to all of space, let's talk about all the missions we got. Got Phelan Bummer, Planet of Conflict, the Black Spectre, the Dimension Diver, Spirit of Steel, and congratulations on 19 million. So, here's the thing we're going to do. Yeah, you've been wanting to show me Tsubasa. It's also Super Robot Wars is why I had always been meaning to watch Full Metal Panic, but it's why I sat down and actually watched it. The 19 million we're going to be saving for later. That's a very useful mission later. We've got a couple missions here we're going to talk about. Yeah, we still need to go through second raid. Nothing yet in prereqs. So, let's quickly talk about these. So, the other thing is, because there is no factory area like there is in Super Robot Wars VX and T, a lot of, like, the vignettes, I guess you could call them, where, like, in V, where 9 would go around talking to the new pilots, they're onboard missions, and they're all just random events. There's some really fun ones with the DLC characters. So, I'll talk about some of the DLC pilots, just because we know, it's no secret who the DLC pilots are. Actually, it's no secret any pilot in this game is. They were all revealed before the game came out. One of the things they added with the expansion pass was Shinkelian, which I'm gonna be honest, I sat down after I started the expansion pass this, and I got to use the Shinkelian for the first time. I was like, what the fuck is this thing? So I started typing in Shinkelian. As I finished typing it, I look up and I see Shinkelian Godzilla. And my immediate reaction was, the fuck? And I saw a video of Hatsune Miku controlling a train that transformed into a mecha fighting Godzilla, where she then got nuked. And nothing I said was a lie. The third episode of the series starts with the protagonist waking up in a hospital bed, looking at the ceiling, which to most people when they watch Shinkelian, it means nothing. To us older anime fans, it was the ceiling from fucking Eva. He was in the hospital room from Evangelion. He meets Shinji controlling a train that transforms into a mecha themed after Eva Unit 1. What the fuck was this series? I thought I had a fucking fever dream, because, okay, I like Macross. Macross is like one of my favorite series just because, like, I love a lot of the music, I love the choreography, the missile massacres are always so good. So I'm used to, like, having just random musical numbers in my mecha after Macross. I was not expecting a full-blown performance by Hatsune fucking Miku! And everyone wondering, like, oh no, it's just a lookalike like Hatsune. Nope. It is explicitly stated to be Hatsune Miku using her Vocaloid vocal banks. I don't know how to process this half the time. I'm sorry for that little rant there. It's just, what the fuck? But back to the conversation in SR30. The Shinkelian character talks with one of the Brave representative in this game. There's a debate I've noticed where a lot of people are wondering if it's just credit to her because it's her vocal bank or if she actually voices Miku in it. I've been seeing a lot of people were not able to reach an agreement because either way she would be credited if it was just her vocal banks for Miku or if she actually came into the studio. I think it was a bit of both because some of the audio sounds a little too clean to be the vocal banks, but that's just me. I had not actually seen the episode of Shinkelion where Miku appeared. I just saw the movie. The movie just randomly has a whole segment that's just a recap of the episode of him in the world of Ava. Where to actually bring this to a little bit full circle to the communities behind these mecha games. Not even around this mecha game, actually to my channel as a VTuber, in an indirect way. I'm sure most of us are aware of the Trash Taste podcast with, for example, Sea-Dog VA. Apparently at one point, they all had to go out and buy objects for a challenge. Sea-Dog had to buy a statue of Ava Unit 1. He puts the box on the table. They're looking at that like, that's not Ava Unit 1. I mean, I know it's from the movies, but I mean, it still counts. Like, no, that's not Ava Unit 1. That's from Shinkelion. Put a fucking Shinkelion figure of Ava Unit 1. God, yeah, it's so fucking wild. But, he has a conversation, apparently, of like, what? Imagine a set of Brave machines that were all trains. I mean, it's not like we just experienced that in 3 fucking games. She wants to know more about us. So fun fact, apparently if you are playing as Edge, the male protagonist, him and Mitsuba start dating. So yeah, that's a thing. You're going, this poor guy, he does not know what the fuck's going on. I don't want to be experimented on. So, okay, I'm going to skip these 2 cutscenes. The explanation for these 2 is, this is the introduction to the Josthinger's challenges. So, I'm just going to skip this. Basically, as we progress through the game, the Josthinger will give us special challenges, such as a 1-unit battle, where you're going to have to defeat a bunch of enemies with 1 unit. I am going to save these, because they are a good way to do... They're good feed missions if you need to feed kills to a certain unit. And then I'm going to skip Ancient Relics, because this is one I briefly touched on. Now that it's a full thing, I'm going to quickly explain it. If you go to move, so... Let's see, these are all... Yeah, so as you can see, you've got Relic of Steel, and Relic of the Aegis. So now that we've got the Relic quest lines appeared, essentially in the move menu, there will be a bunch of quests called Relics. The whole point of Relics are they will net you power parts. If you get to the end of them, you get really good power parts. They will not appear in the mission tab. They only appear in the area mission menu, in the map menu. We won't be covering them all, or at least I don't have a plan to. Just because we got a lot of stuff to cover already. And now we are going to do Spirit Seal, Black Spectre, and Dimension Diver. So starting with Spirit of Steel. These are nice quick missions, and I am going to... I'm just going to have these all as one video, I think. So we'll be arriving at a DBD, Dimensional Boundary Distortions. So talk about the DBDs. These are basically the way they bring in DLC characters into the game. There are holes in reality, which, granted, it's nothing new for us. This is kind of old hat, especially after the events of T and SRV. So we don't know what teams are out here. Let's go see what's going on. Spirit of Steel. Love totally not cross gates. Every game has its own. So here we are. Ryushi, Aya, and I forget who the third pilot of this is. There he is. Ray. So these three are OG Super Robot Wars characters. They, I believe, are from Super Robot Wars OG. I don't know what game all these characters are from. I do apologize. I will try my best. But, yeah, so they're basically just holes in reality pulling people from different games and timelines. We'll get into that later. There's subtle differences, but it's not their Earth. It's a Earth. A bunch of unknowns again. Okay, so this the team debuted in Shin SRW, but this incarnation's from Alpha 1. You don't get information, you die. That's an option. So, from what I could gather, this machine is 3 machines combined. In this scenario, they're going to... In this game, it is only one unit. You cannot split them up. Yeah, so... Let's pull up the full SRX. So as you can see, the SRX has a lot of its attacks are very powerful. The only issue is its energy costs for some of its more powerful attacks are going to drain your energy. This thing is well, it is tuned like a super rope. If I could be honest, I think it's considered another personal trooper, but where the Huckbin leans more to being a real type, this leans more towards being a super robot. The main issue is its energy supply, but it's pretty easy to fix. There's also its accuracy issue, but you could fix that with, again, power parts. It kind of does. Also, by the way, unlike SR, VX, or T, there is no penalty to game overs in this. You can just get, you'll just get pushed back to the intermission screen if you feel like you need more parts or anything. Barely passing scratch that, barely failing. I just noticed it leaves the fucking mask. Oh god, was that the band Presto logo? I love it. I love it. It's so cheesy. And yes, of course, it's got a massive sword in its chest. Of course it does. I'll be honest with you, for some of these missions with the DLC, well, the extra characters they added. Okay, so I think the only way to get the SRX currently... I know when the game first came out, it was the pre-order bonus. I don't think that is the case anymore. But, a lot of the... I think it's just free now. I think it was early access, was pre-order. Oh, my watch is good. Oh, the in-training Digimon's finally digivolving. It's finally actually become Jellymon. Hello, we're part of the Earth Federation? They are also part of the Earth Federation. But there's no record of them in our database. He's also got a point. Just call it a hunch. I don't know. Has this ship been in an SR game before? I think it's new, or at least a new design for this game. Yeah, they're from a parallel world. This is a better question. How was the dimensional boundary broken, if only temporary? So yeah, I don't know why he says why it looks familiar. Yep, they're stuck here for a bit. Bring them on board! Yeah, we have a ton of freedom when it comes to selecting our team, so more than likely, one of them might be able to get them back. Or we'll just run into someone else, or an object that can help them. Yeah, this squadron's the equivalent of Londo Bell. We'll get into that later. Yeah, there's a Londo Bell on their Earth too. Londo Bell is just consistent. In every world. Maybe? Yeah, you gotta expect to run to Bright Noah. He's kind of consistent. I think the only games he's not in would be, at least in our experience, has been Super Robot Wars X. I think they're good now, though. Yes, so... Okay, I talked about this briefly in SRT's finale. Yeah, so characters here who are coming here haven't lost their memories. And there's a couple of characters from previous Mecha crossover, well, previous Super Robot Wars. So outside of just knowing Bright Noah, they've met Uso here before. It's the same character, but a different world. So this Uso hasn't gone through the full history of their world yet. And no matter what world, Uso is a good kid. And then immediately, tell me about the robots. Ah, yes. I've had this team a lot longer in the Switch version. They interact... Well, he interacts very well with... Ryusi here interacts with one character very well. Maybe you will. Maybe you will. So that's our introduction to the idea of the dimensional boundaries, the DVDs. It's going to be a very, very reoccurring thing. It's Koji. True, yeah, no. His series is the grandpa. To the point, Mazda Zero's original appearance was to kill all other mecha. Because it can be the only mecha. But with that, though, let's go into the next one. Okay, chat. What are you doing, small dog? I see you there. We're actually gonna have a returning... Yeah, it's a power suit. It's inevitably what a lot of it's gonna boil down to. A lot of them do tend to end up looking like Iron Man. Unfortunately, there's not really a way you could have it. Here we go. I'm going to skip past a lot of that because a lot of the end conversation because it ends up being the same. The early bit is usually different, like their thoughts on like the state of the war. And then it's just battle in the area around the DVD. Meet Gillum. So he was on his way to Antarctica, and now he's in space. Unmanned and hostile. Destroy the enemies. So the Jespint. I should need to explain the Jespint. We just got done working with this machine heavily in SRT. The Jespint, or however the fuck you say it. No, they do. They love their sharp edges and sleek panels. I've seen Getter Robo Devolution. But, the Jespint here was actually my first introduction to Super Robot Wars, and it wasn't even in an SR title. It was in Project Cross Zone. Though it wasn't, it didn't occur to me till a little bit later that it was the guest pint, because they don't even call it that. It's the Endless Frontier variant. So, while yes, the Guestman here is a returning unit, the new thing is its pilot. They do say it. I keep in mind how it's only in the first one, and I barely remember the first one. I played it when I was in middle school. Small dog, what are you doing? Do you want to come up on my lap? Do you want to hang, gamer dog? Come on. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Okay, everyone. Update, I have dog. All is right in the world. I have dog. But yeah, talking about our pilot here with his unique ability. It should be... There it is. No? Maybe? There you go. Precognition. He has a 30% bonus to his evasion rate during the enemy's phase in particular. He's specifically built for countering. Yeah. Let's see here. The precognition is actually a fairly decent ability. This character was, if I remember correctly, added for free after an update. Like, there's a couple characters who were added for free from updates, a couple who were added from the DLC, and then there was a couple who were added, actually, no, it was all mostly just, a lot of the OG units were free. You could tell a character was added for free or through a DLC based on what it says above the text. If I remember correctly, anything with extra is units added is missions added for free, where anything with DLC was purchased. And he's affiliated with the AEU, or the Anti-Earth Union Group. They've been gone for a while. I believe they've disbanded. Another parallel world displays through a DBD. Well, we've got one group so far. No. Did they make DLCs 1 and 2 free? I thought the first parts were you had to buy them. I know, Gespent, the other, I can't remember his name. And I don't know if they've made SRX free. This one's from, Super Robot Wars 4. Saw something. So a lot of these extra characters are kind of have a overarching subplot that we'll cover later. Don't worry too much about it right now, but just remember that they talk about this. The die down. Maybe. I think it's the same one, just at different points in his life. And here's our other one. If I remember correctly, this one originates from one of the mobile games. I do not believe this one is currently available to play. I forget this is the one that is discontinued. You know what? It's perfectly fine that they reused the machine. And I'll be honest, I kind of like its color scheme. So, when it's under... Okay, here's the thing. This machine has a little bit of a double-edged sword. Okay, it's the one that's still in service? Okay, so the main issue is, yes, this thing hits really fucking hard. Its accuracy is hot garbage. Yeah, okay, yeah. So the DLC you get would be DLC... Buy and download the Super Robot Wars 30 Season Pass. Yeah. So with the Season Pass, you're going to get access to DLCs 1, which is Sakura Wars, Belichukka's Children. I never know how to pronounce her name. And, not Kamballer, it's, the other Volt team. Okay. You know, this machine, if you could fix its accuracy issues, can be pretty decent. Yeah, Volt V, sorry. I'm a little all over the place right now. Oh, sorry, small dog, I scared you. But yeah, this thing's accuracy, though, is terrible. The main things you get from it were, of course, the first DLC wave was the Volts V crew, the Sakura Wars cast, and, importantly, High New Gundam. DLC 2 was focused on Ultraman and the Iron-Blooded Orphans mobile suits. DLC 3, or the expansion pass, added the most. You got Armored Trooper Voltom, Shinkalian movie in particular. I can't remember the team. They're basically a Megazord. And most importantly of all, get a Robo Devolution. Dan Kuga, thank you. God, I hate this thing's accuracy. It's garbage. It's got potential, but God. It can't hit for shit in this mission. feel like I'm playing XCOM. I don't know, actually. I'd have to check. Another one claiming to be affiliated with Londo Bell. What? I myself am Didarian. Explain! Just... how? Also, God, the Edge. Yeah, Londo Bell just is consistent. But you know what? The fact that a lot of these you'll know Londo Bell, or at least Bright and Amuro, makes it a lot easier.